What's going on, everybody? It's Rad Sports Cards again. I apologize for the hiatus between the last video and this one. I've just been taking the time to enjoy the summer. I've been collecting left and right. I just haven't really been sending out a whole bunch of things. I know the last video, I think the last time I sent out cards were back in June. So today is September 7th, and I'm just getting my submission back. But I can tell you one thing that SGC has been doing recently is their turnaround times have been off the charts. They took away the $40 10-day option, dropped it back to $30 a card for 25 to 30 business day turnaround, but they're actually processing these orders within like 5 days. I'm not even kidding. I think my order got there, now mind you, it was the holiday weekend, so my order got there I think September 1st. It was entered into the computer on September 1st. It was graded September 2nd, shipped out the Tuesday after Labor Day, and just got to me today. So all said and done, from the time that, with the holiday weekend included, from the time that I sent it to them, the time that they received it, and the time that I got it back was about a week. So they took away the $40 10-day, dropped it back to $30 a card for 25 to 30 business day turnaround. And it was 1 week from me dropping it off, sending it to them, grading, post-grade processing, shipment back to my doorstep, which is absolutely unbelievable. You guys have heard me say before that I can't say enough good things about SGC, and that just solidifies it. I will never grade with another company in my life. These guys are second to none, and it has been absolutely fantastic dealing with them. I really hope that, I know they're blowing away BGS in terms of numbers right now, but I hope the resale values for modern day cards, because that's what I do collect, eventually catches back up. But I have a really cool submission return. This is, in terms of actual dollar value, this is the biggest return that I've ever had. I did have one card that wasn't graded. Only reason why it wasn't graded was because of how thick the card was, too large to hold her. So it's a beautiful card. I have found out though that if cards are too thick, they will not grade them. So I found that out the hard way. It is what it is. I'm not terribly mad about it, but you take the good with the bad. It's a beautiful card. It's an absolutely gorgeous card. Unfortunately, it is just super freaking thick. So I can see why they didn't hold her. It doesn't bother me any. I sent it to him in the one touch. I sent it back to me in the one touch. Put it in the bag. So it is what it is. Unfortunately, the thing that stinks about this is that it was a sealed card from Flawless. So it had the Flawless seal over top of the one touch. I can put it back in there. I'm probably not going to resell this card. This is just going to go into the PC. But, and another thing that you guys are going to see in this video is that I have switched from player worn to almost exclusively game worn. I have really been trying to not lighten my collection, but kind of focus on the game worn side of things. So I have moved away from player worn, but this was just, it was a great price, and it was, I couldn't pass it up. So, but anyways, without further ado, let's get into it. I think the dollar value of this was, let's see, can I do it without showing the, where is it? Yeah, here we go. 24,000 was the total declared value, 36, there you go, 25 days. But yeah, $24,850, 36 cards. It was a ton of cards. So let's get right into it. I have a lot of really cool veterans. I have some cool current day players. Again, like usual, it's broken out into baseball and football. That's really all I collect. You'll only ever see me grade maybe one or two other basketball cards. I love basketball, huge basketball fan, huge Sixers fan, but the whole basketball collecting isn't really in my forte. So, but without further ado, here is, if you guys follow me over on Instagram, radsportscards_. This was one of the cards that I picked up at National in a package deal with Steve Carlton that I got. So it's a Nolan Ryan Museum collection out of 15, which I have been looking for a Nolan Ryan card for years. And, sometimes it just takes seeing it in person. But there was this card, the surface wasn't great on this, so I knew that it wasn't probably going to get over a 9, but I'm fine with it. It's the old school retro orange, yellow, red Astros uni. It's just a gorgeous card. and just Nolan Ryan. So can't ever go wrong with that. Second card that came back is a Rafael Devers. This card was also a national pickup. If you got, again, I posted this on Instagram already too, but just the raw versions of it. So I picked this one up from Tie Me Down Sports Card, THAI Me Down Sports Cards. If you guys want to follow him over on Instagram. Super, super cool dude. We talked for a while at National. He's a Champ Bailey collector too. And he hooked me up with this card in addition to the game-worn Barry Sanders that I got. So this is a really, really sweet 101. It's not game-worn, but it is an all-star workout jersey, which I absolutely love. The workout jerseys, and another part of my collection, in addition to the game-worn side, is all the all-star cards. So I saw this. It was tough to pass this one up. So when you can get things, I've noticed if you guys can get things in package deals, it'll definitely help out. If you're willing to put out the extra money for it, but sometimes it can actually lessen, that chase card that you're going after. So that one was definitely cool. Here is another one that I picked up. Oh, sorry, just kidding. No, this one I got off of eBay. I had been looking for a sick Scott Rowland Dynasty card, and I missed out on about 3 of them. So then I found this Jackie Robinson Day patch card come up, and I put a ridiculous final bid in. So, oh my goodness, that is gorgeous. Yeah, this is definitely my most favorite Rolling card in my collection right now. It's not even a question. It's just absolutely beautiful. Breaking Barriers, 1997. It's just absolutely a gorgeous card. 2 out of 5. Now it's a dual 10. So, yep, this card was a beauty. This is my favorite Scott Rowland card in my collection right now. You're gonna see 2 more Scott Rowland cards. It's tough. You'll see the other one that I'm talking about. So between this one, but he's in a Phillies uniform, so I think that kind of has a little bit to do with it. But you guys will see the other ones coming up soon. Next is I just went right into that. Yeah, Yogi Berra. I got this one the first day Nationals, the Wednesday night, the kind of like the sneak peek show. I picked this one up. I think I got this pretty cheap too. The guy, believe it or not, had I think 3 of these. Either had 2 or 3 of these, all out of 10. And I was like, whoa. So I had my pick at the 3, and they all had different sayings on them, but I took the 3 MVP. It's just gorgeous. I remember growing up as a kid, my grandfather was a catcher, and he would tell me stories about Yogi Berra and Johnny Bench. So I grew up, even though I'm not a Yankees fan, I grew up a big Yogi Berra fan. And when I got into collecting, old timers like this, it is impossible to find game use from them. So when I saw this at the show, I actually was with my girlfriend, and I told her about it, and she's like, hey, she's the one that picked it out for me. She's like, hey, don't you like Yogi Berra? I said, yeah. And she goes, what's this? And it was on site. So, I'm not terribly worried about the 8. It is, it's from 2008. So the card isn't in bad shape. It's obviously not in Gen Mint shape, but it's not in terrible shape. It's just really cool, and I love how back in 2008, they used to do the little holograms. It's a little MLBPA sticker, so I think that's pretty cool. But yeah, this card was another big pickup from National. Next after that, we have sticking with the old timers, Juan Marshall, 1 of 1. I don't know if this is a nameplate or not. I don't know if this is part of the back of his jersey nameplate, or if this is just from somewhere else on his jersey, but it's game used, and it's absolutely sick. It's a 1 of 1 from Definitive. I've talked about Definitive collection before for football and for baseball. It is one of my utmost favorite products. The cards are so clean. They always seem to have great lines on them. The design's always great. The 1 of 1 with the red border. It's classy without doing too much. I think some card companies today are trying to go over the top with shiny and sometimes simplistic, and just keeping it old school and retro and not trying to do too much is the way to go. So Yeah, this card, the 101. Like I said, I don't know if that's from an eye on the back of his nameplate. I don't know, or if an eye from the Giants. I don't know what, but it's just an absolutely beautiful card. And I absolutely love Juan Marshall since I was a pitcher. And huge addition to the collection. Moving right along, this one, he was only in Philly for a short time, but when you talk about Chase Utley, Ryan Howard, Jimmy Rollins, Jim Thome falls into that, kind of not Mount Rushmore, but he's up there in terms of Philly greats, even though his stay was so short-lived in Philly. He hit homer number 500 with us, so, he's a big deal in Philly. One of the greatest dudes I've ever met in my entire life. I got the chance to meet him when I was younger, and he is just unbelievably nice. If you didn't know who he was, you would never even know that he played baseball. He doesn't carry that stigma about him, but this is another 101. That's what we like to see. 10.95, another definitive 101. Again, this one with the red patch, with the Phillies striped uniform, the batting gloves, the helmet, the card, everything is just beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous. So super stoked to have that one. Next up, Ed Reed. I don't think, if I remember correctly, I think this card, unfortunately, very unfortunately, because it's a sick card, it is game used. It's the Ravens logo, but unfortunately, I think it was separating between, like the middle of the card was separating. It was enclosed, or an encased card from Honors, from 2020 Honors. Was it 2020 Honors or 2018 Honors? It was one of the two. But, oh man, I don't think it's going to grade very well. Maybe a 7. I don't really think there are any other issues with the card. The corners were great. The surface was good, but let's see. Yeah, I'm going to have to pop that out probably. The auto is a 10, but we'll see. I think, there's a huge print line right here. That is not a crease. That's just a straight print line. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens with this one. But it's just a sick card with the Ravens logo. The fact that that's game worn from one of the greatest safeties to ever play. It's just too hard of a card to pass up. So, but still. All right, this one is the first 2022 Ohio State card patch auto that I've gotten, and it was of Olave. You guys are going to see a lot of Olave, Garrett Wilson cards come in the mail. I was big on these guys in college. Garrett Wilson's freshman year, I said the kid was going to be a star. Same with Olave. So you guys are going to see me pull a ton of these. No, not pull them, but buy a ton of these cards and send them off for grading. But this has the All-State Sugar Bowl and the Capital One Bowl on here. Gold out of 10. Or I'm sorry, these aren't gold. These are yellow diamond out of 10. But just a sick card. It's absolutely sick card. Many more of those to come once they drop the higher end products. This one's super cool. So this is game worn of one of the most underrated receivers I think I've ever seen play. The dude was an absolute freak on the field. Talk about longevity. He could block, he could run, he could, goal line fades, slants across the middle, open the field up. Anquan Boldin could literally do it all. He's going to be a Hall of Famer one day. He'll see his day. But it's going to take him a little bit, but it was just incredible. So another older card. I wasn't expecting much on the grade, so the 8.5 don't bother me that much. It is out of 49. You would think that, with having the actual 49ers logo, that it would be a lesser numbered card, but I love the fact that it is the 49ers brand name or team name. It's out of 49. I thought that was pretty cool. So yeah, kind of hard to pass that one up too. That was an eBay auction, but again, the game worn that have either like the team name, the team logo, Nike, Reebok, whatever. The brand logos on them, the things that are very hard to find, I love collecting, as for a lot of us. So yeah, that one came home pretty quick too. Another one that was picked up from National was 1 out of 5 Justin Fields laundry tag. I knew when I picked this one up that it probably wasn't going to do that well. I don't know. I'm trying to get it on camera. I don't think it's going to show. Oh, yeah, there it is, right at the bottom. Let's see. There's a crease on the bottom, on that foil right down there at the bottom. So, unfortunately, that's what made it grade the 8. The surface was great. Other than that, like as in terms of scratches and whatnot, the surface was great. The edges were great. Corners were great. Centering was a little bit off, but between the centering and that on the back, you know, it is what it is. So, yeah. It is what it is, but, oh well. It's still a gorgeous card. It's the second Justin Fields card that I have from him in a patch auto from either Immaculate, National Treasures, Flawless. So I'm looking at buying another one right now. Stay tuned. You guys will see in a later video if I end up picking it up or not. I guess we're going to play if the price is right for it. So we'll see. But another cool Nationals pickup. I said to myself when Steve Atwater's products came out in Flawless this year, I said that I was going to spend money on getting him. And sure enough, I did. It's just player worn, but he has virtually no patch autos. He virtually has hardly any autographs. I mean, the autographs are hard enough to find. So the patch autos out of an extremely high-end product are even harder to find. So when he was on the release list this year, I had literally that name circled, and I had the eBay auction saved. So I picked up a couple of his. This is the only one that I sent in as of right now. So we'll see what else I send in. If I do send any of the others in, but if, you know, like a 5 of 5 or 1 of 1 come up, I'll be all over it. I don't know what his releases were in terms of what, like, numbered cards, but that was just a really cool one. Ty Law, another one that came out this year that I think he in 19 Flawless. I think he had some releases in 19 Flawless, but he was another guy. Finding game use for him is, I don't even know if he has any game use. So, you know, like I said, I'm kind of condensing my collection into just game worn and game used. But if it's a player that I like that I cannot find game used for or doesn't pop up, I'm going to get the player worn. You know, I know the stigma behind player worn that, you know, all these companies have enough money to buy the game worn, but, you know, it is what it is. You take the good with the bad, like I said before. So, super clean card, super awesome 4-color patch. I absolutely loved Ty Law. Glad to see that he was finally enshrined into Canton. And yeah, another guy, another Flawless, somebody that you don't see a whole lot of game worn from. It's not game worn, it's player worn, but it's Rondé Barber from Flawless, from 16, which is kind of weird because 14, 15, 16 was like all the you know, the game worn, game used, hardly any player worn. So to find a player worn from 16, you know, that's when they started the transition to player worn. So I get it, but it's still a cool card. It's, you know, you got the sliver of the red right there. So red color match on the red, and then 5-color patch auto. 15 out of 15 is sweet, and I've said it before, his autos are perfection. His autos are absolute perfection. So I pick up as much Rondé Barber as I can. Let me see if I can find real quick the other one, because these are getting into all the game worn. I kind of want to save all those to last. You know what? We'll do this one real quick, because this is, again, I told you guys how much I love the All-Star cards. So I now have 3 of these. This is the one that's in the best condition, so I didn't even bother sending the other 2 in. But I sent this one in because it was in the best collection. But this is my 3rd Carlos Beltran All-Star Game logo, man. I absolutely love Carlos Beltran. It is Scott Rowland, Carlos Beltran, Albert Pujols. 3 favorite baseball players of all time. Not even close. Will never be close. So to be able to have 3 logo mans of his, it means a lot. And when I got this one and saw the condition, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to send it in. Again, I don't grade for resale value. So this to me was pretty cool to find. But I am going to, right now, I'm going to cut the video real quick. Stay tuned. I will put a part 2 for this video up. I don't want to make it too long. It's already at 20 minutes, but I will put a part 2 video up, and it is going to be all the high-end cards, all the ridiculously high-end. You guys are going to see some of the best players in NFL history, game-worn patch autos. So stay tuned for part 2. I'm going to throw this video up probably the day after I will put part 2 up. So make sure you stay on the lookout for that. Instagram, @radsportscards_. Give me a follow, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Take it easy.